There are definitely places where you can take advantage of it. My first thought is somewhere like Brazil or Lakeside. You know,
Brazil
people use skyboxes
mentioned!
from jumping.
Today we're gonna be having 2 reactions on the channel. The first one, the one that you guys are watching right now, is this one. And later today, I'm gonna be releasing this one. Both were made by SoundSmith, so be sure to give a like on the original videos before watching the reactions. And now, onto the video. Have a good day. Before we get to the videos, I know that this is a video that I can imagine that SoundSmith was most excited to work on. So I have great expectations. So now, without any more further ado, let's go. Click.
You wake up late on a Saturday morning. Birds are chirping outside, sunlight filters in through the window. It's a beautiful day, and you've got it all to yourself.
Uh-huh.
So, of course, you ignore the gorgeous weather because you're looking to do some video gaming on your personal computer. So you do what any aspiring Trolldier does and immediately load into a high tower server. You equip your favorite items, and you get to Trolldiering. And things go pretty well. Right out the gate, you land a garden. Man, the subclass is great. You're having fun.
Ah,
But
come on.
unfortunately, that's the problem, because the other team noticed that too.
Wait a minute. Hey, everyone, this guy's having fun playing a video game.
One moment, the
How
server is
could he?
classic high tower nonsense, and the next, it's...
Okay, I gotta say that I love the coordinated clips of everyone just working with the same class.
Well, you blew it. You made it too obvious that you were having fun in Team Fortress 2, and now the entire enemy team has dedicated themselves to making sure that can't happen. If you want to stand a chance against the enemy team, you'll need some kind of ranged damage, and that means no more rocket jumper, no more man treads. You're gonna have to give up your Trolldier dreams to play regular soldier. Unless there was a loadout that let you do both. What? You know, something in between shooting your feet to win and giving up all range damage for some extra movement and the funny. Would you be surprised if I told you that there's a single item that functions as a perfect solution to this problem?
What you talking about, SoundSmith? Oh, gunboats. Gunboats. Right?
This video is about hybrid Trolldier. I'm in. That's great, man, but you don't have to say that every time. What do you mean? That's the best
That
part.
animation.
Hey, I'd say the best part is probably all the money we're about to make off this loser. Look at him. He has no idea we're about to steal all of his personal information. Nothing.
It looks like we're about to just go into the
Whatever.
advertisement.
Let's just finish this and get out of here. Go ahead and do it. You got it.
I forgot the name of the word. Damn it, what is it?
Hang on. What? Ow.
I
The
don't understand
sponsor.
What happened? He was connected to unsecured public Wi-Fi. That should have been easy.
I think I know what might be going on.
What?
That guy must have been using this video's sponsor, NordVPN.com/SoundSmith.
Wait, NordVPN.com.
I just love these
What's
Gmod
that?
Oh man,
skits.
it's the worst.
I love
Thanks
it.
to NordVPN's threat protection feature, his browsing data is safe from people like us who want to grab it and sell it. It protects him from malicious downloads, shady links, it's even an ad blocker.
Well, hey, I mean, actually, that sounds pretty cool.
Shut up! There's got to be another way.
Just to mug him and
Wait,
steal
maybe,
the...
man, we don't have his data. He must have gotten a huge discount at nordvpn.com/SoundSmith with that limited time deal where you get a 4 extra months for free when you purchase a 2-year plan. It's even got a 30-day money-back guarantee. We can never
Really,
get
seen
data back
like
from our
a
customers that use NordVPN.
1080p
It's really
Gmod
annoying.
skin like that.
Ow.
Man, who would have thought
just
that keeping
great.
a helmet like that would break one of your toes?
Lord of the Rings reference!
Actually, I guess
Lord of the
we could
Rings
just
reference.
kidnap him and get some ransom money.
Ah, the old tried and true. Sure. Let me just track him down and... Wait, it says he's in the UK.
Wait, how? He was just here in Union City.
Oh, because you
Wait,
can
now
change
it says
where
he's
it's
in
from.
Germany, and
Yeah.
Now he's in Japan? How is he so fast? It's like I've been tracking his after image this whole time.
Damn it, he must be using NordVPN.com/SoundSmith again. NordVPN has thousands of servers worldwide that you can connect to at any time, which masks your location, protects you from DDoS attacks, and even lets you access region-blocked
Hey.
content. Oh man, just
This
think about all the
background
great
music
shows
is
he's probably watching
quite
right now.
nice.
I'm
I'm
stuck here watching
enjoying
this
it.
stupid SoundSmith video.
Wait, SoundSmith? Oh man, I love stereotypes. The funny cello.
Oh, we don't talk about the
Thanks
stereotypes.
to NordVPN for sponsoring this video. Use the link in the description to get that exclusive deal and get 4
Or
months free with the
SoundSmith,
purchase
one of
a
his
2-year
most
plan.
recognizable
Protect
series
yourself
is
from
now one of
thieves
his
like me.
biggest curses, I believe.
Fucking NordVPN.com/SoundSmith.
Alright, back to the topic.
Hybrid Hybrid Trolldier is a little bit like Hybrid Demo Knight, in that it takes some elements of both the subclass and the main class to create a blend of the two. Hybrid Knight achieves this by only changing one item, swapping your booties back to a grenade launcher.
Your
but
booties.
Hybrid Trolldier swaps too. The primary gets swapped back to something that can actually deal damage, just like Hybrid Knight, but if we stopped there, we'd run into some issues pretty quickly. To function most effectively, Hybrid Trolldier also swaps the secondary to something very specific, the one item that makes this entire concept function.
Knock knock. It's gunboats.
Yes, the gunboats.
Okay.
The simplest possible weapon to fundamentally change how a class plays. Literally all it does is make the wearer take 60% less self-damage from rocket jumps. That's it. No other gimmicks, no other downsides, just straight up more effective HP to...
I would like to point out one thing. I thought that the gunboats were an actual boot, not just metal pieces added to the boat. So I learned something today after 10 years of playing TF2.
rocket jump with. Hybrid Trolldier essentially has the damage of a rocket launcher and still maintains a decent amount of the mobility of a rocket jumper. You do lose the funny stomp though, which is honestly pretty tragic. Right, so your boots change from steel toed to steel everything, but what about the primary? Earlier I said basically you swap from the rocket jumper to a damaging primary, but you might have noticed that that statement refers to literally every other soldier primary. So which one do you pick? Well, when used in conjunction with the Market Gardener, I think almost all of Soldier's primaries can be placed on what I call the silly spectrum. You've got stuff ranging from basically regular old roamer soldier that also uses the Gardener sometimes, to basically Trolldier but with a tiny bit of extra damage thrown in there, and options for pretty much everything in between. And that's going to be most of what I talk about in this video, where each primary lands on the silly spectrum.
Okay,
how
I'll
it
wait to
synergizes
comment
with
on
the
it.
Market
I have
Gardener,
already
and
some
what style of
ideas.
play I've found the most success with when using it. So I guess let's just start by getting back to basics. Right, so this is what I meant when I said basically regular roamer soldier that also gardens sometimes. It's just a rocket launcher. Deals anywhere from 24 to 112 damage depending on splash and ramp up. It
Wow.
can be used to rocket jump for the hefty price of around 12 to 30 HP with gunboats, and has your standard 4 rockets in the clip. So both of these launchers
The old
land squarely
reliable.
in the regular soldier side of the silly spectrum. When using them as Hybrid Trolldier, you can't really do those crazy 4 rocket jumps that Trolldiers often do with the rocket jumper. Well, I mean you can, but even if you hit the garden, now you're standing way out of position with no rockets and like 40 health. At that point, your options are pretty limited.
You can die. Do the conga.
Instead, your Market Gardener essentially serves as an alternative way of dealing damage at the end
Soldier
of the bomb.
jump
You
scare.
just jump at somebody when you normally would as a roaming gunboat soldier, but instead of firing a rocket as you close in, you could instead go for a shovel crit. This tends to work best when you're bombing
Hey,
a
but to be
single
fair,
target,
the
or
Heavy
if
was
you're looking to
wearing
pick
the
off
metal
an important
gloves.
class from a group
So
of
that's why he
people.
died.
It's a really nice option because it lets you save a rocket, which you could then use to deal more damage or try and escape.
Ooh.
Escapes can be a little tricky with these, though. Stock and original mostly lock you out of the standard Trolldier playstyle of jump in, garden one person, and jump away. See, here's the thing with gunboats, they reduce self-inflicted blast damage by 60%, but only if it's a rocket jump. You can't just run up to somebody, shoot them point blank, and expect to get the damage reduction, because then it doesn't fly and you blow yourself up. The way the game tells this is by checking to see if your rocket damaged an enemy player before applying the reduction. So even if you're not aiming at somebody intentionally, as long as your rocket damages someone beside you, you
I
take
didn't
more
know
damage.
that.
Soldier also actually has a natural resistance to self-inflicted blast damage from rocket jumps, and that stacks on top of the resistance you get from the gunboats. But that one determines if you're rocket jumping by just checking to see if you're in the air. Regardless, you're actually losing out on one or both of those resistances depending on the situation.
When
And
you
if you lose
crit.
both, so you accidentally hit someone while trying to rocket jump and you don't press space at the right time and you end up being on the ground, you could take up to like 89 damage just from the jump. I should mention that this also applies to every other damaging launcher, but I wanted to talk about it here first since stock is the launcher that suffers the most from it. Basically,
Yeah, it's
you're
better.
incentivized to stand your ground and fight rather than just jumping away, and that moves
But
you more
damn,
towards
just
this side
imagine.
of the silly spectrum.
Can you guys just imagine you just do this calculus? Like, let's imagine. And you just don't realize that you can actually do 0% effect and take all the damage. I really never got to know this. This is why I love like these videos so much, because I actually know about how the items work. Thanks, SoundSmith.
Just play soldier with a bit more rocket jumping than usual, and if you see an opportunity for a garden, go for it. You know,
Nice.
every so often.
Wait a minute,
Okay,
that
so
black box
this
is not
one of the
black.
few primaries that I'm not going to be placing on the silly spectrum because it's just not very good for Hybrid Trolldier. Rocket jumping a lot means you're usually starved for rockets, and only having 3 in your clip makes bombing and 1v1s really tough. The health on hit is nice, don't get me wrong, but it's not really worth it when you're going for a garden.
Yeah,
Plus, if you're playing on high tower,
the
you
older
can just
black
jump
box
to a
was
health
the-
pack because
the
they're
best
everywhere.
one.
Anyway, black box is fine, it has its place, but that place is usually
Ooh,
in more passive
nice.
play styles, which doesn't really fit for Hybrid Trolldier. We're just gonna like place it over here. The Cow Mangler is functionally very similar to the stock launcher. The rockets might look different, but they do the same damage, have the same blast radius, and travel at the same speed. Unless you right-click, but that's not really practical for rocket jumping. Really funny, though. Anyway, it's so similar to stock that I'm just gonna, like, put it right over here on the silly spectrum. Pretty much
the only difference is just that you have infinite ammo.
Specifically, these two stats right here. First, infinite ammo. Look, not having to worry about ammo is really nice, but like, Hightower also has a ton of ammo packs, so it's not quite as good in that situation. I don't think I've ever actually run out of ammo when using the stock launcher on that map. That being said, if, unlike me, you're normal and play a variety of maps, there are definitely places where you can take advantage of it. My first thought is somewhere like Brazil or Lakeside. You know,
Brazil
those
mentioned!
skyboxes, fun jumping opportunities, but really few ammo packs. You could probably get more use out of this stat there. On the other hand, you've got this stat, and that means...
Now, to be
you're
fair,
giving up
the
capability
Brazil
to deal
map
with one
is
of Trollder's
terrible.
biggest counters,
Terrible.
Sentries. Well, technically you could charge shot, but then you have to reload your entire clip, and it has a few issues. But if sentries are your problem, then might I recommend the direct hit is usually seen as the weapon of choice for the sweatiest tryhards, and
There's a reason why.
Contributed to that sentiment a little bit. And like, yeah, in 2017 SoundSmith's defense, it's tailor-made for 1v1s, specializes in air shots, and can absolutely ruin the day of every other Trolldier in the server.
And any other class that has 105 health or less.
Well, to put it simply, this just synergizes with a funny spoon-centric playstyle a little bit better than stock. And that's
Goodbye,
because
demo.
it makes it way easier to deal with one of Trolldier's hard counters, this fucking guy. There's a certain comfort in knowing you can freely jump around the map and take out any mini sentry with a single left click or a level 3 in 2 clicks. That faster projectile speed also makes it a lot easier to hit direct rockets. Shocking, I know, but
Nice.
you gotta hit them in order to do any significant damage. It's also worth noting that the smaller blast radius makes it less likely for you to accidentally damage somebody when you're jumping, and that means you're
Ooh.
less likely to lose out on that damage resistance
Hey.
from the gunboats, so you've got a bit more
Again, look how much I'm actually learning with this. I never thought about this combo to avoid getting the full damage on yourself. Amazing.
freedom of mobility when it comes to basic rocket jumps. Overall, you're better at 1v1s, but worse against crowds. Really revolutionary commentary there, I know. As far as rocket jumping and gardening goes, though, the direct hit is still pretty similar to stock. See, when it's calculating self-damage, TF2 uses the same base damage and blast radius as stock rockets. This makes jumping a bit more consistent across all the launchers, and it also means that you're not actually taking more damage by rocket jumping with the direct hit. That's pretty nice, but the big difference you need to get used to is the faster projectile speed. That does change across some rocket launchers, and it'll change up the timing for rocket jumping just a little bit. It's not so different that it requires you to change up your entire playstyle, but there is a small adjustment period, especially for stuff like pogos.
Get him. Liberty Launcher, okay.
Moving on, the Liberty Launcher is a bit of a weird case. As a rocket launcher, it's kind of...
The Liberty Launcher
bad.
is a
Like,
weird
at first,
case on
it seems
itself.
alright. It's got an extra rocket in the clip. It's got increased projectile speed, which makes hitting your rockets easier. You even get increased resistance to blast jumps, and that stacks with the gunboats. That's pretty cool. It seems perfect for hybrid Trolldier. So what does that come at the cost of?
Yeah.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
I know 25% doesn't sound like that much on paper, but like if you pick this thing up yourself, the first rocket you hit, you'll just be like,
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
there's kind of no getting around it. The Liberty Launcher is pretty dog shit. But if you're willing to put up with a severe downgrade for some extra mobility, and if you're watching this video, I'm pretty sure you are, then
I mean, to be fair, the Liberty Launcher and Soldier itself, they do not mix well at first glance, because in a TF2 fight, it's very rare that you'll need 4 rockets to kill one person. It's very, very rare in most situations. You need the damage to kill it in one go, because with all the fight going on around, you will just most likely kill whatever is to be killed in 1 or 2 rockets because of the whole confusion. People will be with less health than usually they spawn in. So it's all about doing that quick damage. Most soldiers, they will not just spam 5 rockets at one place unless you're like spamming one single choke point, or for example, one singular like spawn from the blue team. So being able to just have more damage on the rocket launcher just shows why this is one of the most hated rocket launchers. Why even like the training rocket launcher is even more beloved than this thing. It's just a weapon that does not fit with the TF2 type of gameplay for most. Like I would say 90% of soldiers, including myself. But moving on.
This has a solid place right over here on the silly spectrum. See, that 25% resistance to rocket jumping damage stacks on top of the 40% innate resistance and the 60% gunboat's resistance, and they stack multiplicatively, so that means you're ending up at an 82% resistance to self-inflicted blast damage. In other words, you're taking a maximum of 16.2 damage on any rocket jump. In practice, it's really more like 12 to 14. This plus that extra rocket in the clip gives you a ton more mobility and way more freedom to go for market gardens. It's not without its problems though. The big downside that this has for rocket jumping is that increased projectile speed. Like the direct hit, the rockets moving faster means the timing for your inputs on a rocket jump
I get it now.
ever so slightly. I'm sure if you put a lot of time into jumping with this thing, you could get to the point where it's as effective as stock, but for me personally, I like swapping between hybrid Trolldier and full Trolldier, and that adjustment period is just really annoying to get used to. Oh, also, you remember how I was talking about the gunboats not counting the damage resistance if you hit another player? That's how it works on the Liberty Launcher too. So if you accidentally tag someone with your rocket jump, you're taking more than 3 times the damage than you normally would. And if you really mess up and take that self-damage on the ground, you go from taking around 14 points of damage to
86.
Hey, another Critical Role reference.
so, you know, just be careful.
You know, the more and more references that I managed to get, like Lord of the Rings, Critical Role, D&D, just more I would like to one day see TF2 YouTubers doing a D&D game, but really, come on, SoundSmith, make it happen. Make a D&D stream, I would love to watch.
I meant to do that. But assuming
Of
you're
course
careful
you
with
did.
your rockets and you get used to the projectile speed, this thing is a lot better for hybrid Trolldier than it seems when you first pick it up. It almost plays like full Trolldier with the rocket jumper. You're jumping around way more than stock, going for shovel kills more often than not, but unlike the rocket jumper, you can still deal out some significant damage with your primary. Okay, maybe significant is a bit of a stretch, but it's not nothing. Just give it a shot. You might be surprised.
See? 52 damage is not horrible, but by TF2 standards, people are just
So you might
used to
remember
way
that I've
more.
made a video on this weapon before, or maybe not. Not too many people watch that one, I think. You can go watch that again if you want.
Sarcasm.
I'm definitely not going to complain about more engagement, but for the sake of keeping everything in one place, let me give a quick summary of what I talked about in that video. You ready?
Okay,
Okay, you got that?
got it.
No? Okay,
I
well,
did.
that's the idea. Like I said, this
Okay.
weapon is really fucking weird, and it's functionally unique from every other rocket launcher in the game. As far as using it with the Market Gardener and Gunboats combo goes, well, it's phenomenal. Overload jumping unlocks.
Why
a
have
whole
I heard
other
this
realm
background
of
music
rocket jumping
before?
that synergizes with the Market Gardener pretty much how well you'd expect it to. So where does it go on the silly spectrum? Well, the thing is, this launcher is so different from the other launchers, and it synergizes so well with the Market Gardener
Nice.
that getting good with the Beggars means you're already doing most of the things I'd recommend you do as a hybrid Trolldier anyway. Like using your launcher as a mobility aid to fly around the map like an idiot and using your shovel in tandem with the launcher when it's appropriate to do so. That's just like normal glue-sniffing Beggar's bazooka behavior, man. And the main difference is that you're throwing your old jumping muscle memory out of the window in favor of whatever the hell this is. It's so different from every other launcher that Beggar Soldier is just kind of its own thing at this point. So let's take our silly spectrum, zoom out for a second, and place the Beggar's bazooka off over here in the fucking weirdo zone. Don't get me wrong, it's really,
SoundSmith
really
proceeds
good.
to
I
make
just
a
kinda
line,
feel like it's its own thing.
and
You know,
then
like
proceeds to
Cape
put
Knight or
things like
Cannon Knight, right?
all over the surroundings of the
Wait, what? I
line.
think I talked about using the rocket jumper and gunboats as a meme to piss people off at one point, but okay, I'm just mostly putting this in as a section because it would bug me if I didn't cover every launcher. So that's why this is here. It's on the Trolldier side of the silly spectrum because you're playing Trolldier. Yep, cool. Anyway,
Conclusion.
I'm just kidding. There's actually one more launcher that I've yet to talk about.
Oh,
and
I
if you're
totally
one of
forgot about the
people who
airstrike.
uses it, you've
How could I forget about the airstrike? This is actually on the thumbnail. Damn it, Dan. I think it's because I don't use this weapon.
probably been yelling at me to talk about it this entire time.
Nope. Nope.
Let's talk about the airstrike. I'm just gonna get it out of the way right now. I fucking love the airstrike. It is the perfect
Ooh,
definition of a
nice.
hybrid launcher. It's got the blast jumping resistance of the Liberty launcher, the increased firing speed of a Beggar's bazooka, the same projectile speed and firing mechanism as stock, eliminating any adjustment period to
Oh, I
equipment.
can
And on top
already-
of all of that, it
I can already hear SoundSmith brain just filling with dopamine just by describing this.
even snowballs, gaining up to 8 rockets in the clip as you get kills with it. And it only comes at the cost of... Okay, yeah, it's not great. Look, the damage penalty isn't quite as steep as the Liberty Launcher, but the reduced explosion radius means the damage fall off is steeper. So oftentimes it feels...
But, sorry for pausing a lot, but there is this one thing. If you manage to just get the sequel of rockets, you will be putting way more damage in a quicker pace than any other rocket launcher, with the exception of the Beggar's bazooka, depending on how many rockets you have. So, I'd say that this one is a 200% better when compared to the Liberty Launcher. Even though if it has a little damage reduction, just amazing.
Just as weak. So yeah, as the name implies, this thing is only really good when you're in the air, more specifically rocket jumping, but like, have
You're
you
out
heard
doing that all the
before?
time, yeah.
I don't know, it just seems kind of familiar. Oh, right, as a hybrid soldier, you're gonna be jumping around everywhere anyway. So in my experience, you don't really run into its downsides
Nice.
nearly as often as you would if you were just playing regular soldier. And for that reason, it feels a lot better to play with. Quick side note, the airstrike usually gets used with the base jumper, and that's still pretty good as a hybrid soldier. It's just that losing that extra damage resistance with a jump heavy playstyle really hurts. Also, the base jumper on Trolldier shines the most in enclosed spaces, and the airstrike is kind of the
Nice.
exact opposite. I'm mostly going to stick with gunboats for this one going forward. So, with the gunboats and the airstrike, Soldier still has almost 80% resistance to self-inflicted blast damage. This means you'll be taking a maximum of 18 to 19 damage per rocket, and again, in practice, it's usually more like 16. That's pretty nice, but the real star of the show here is the increased firing speed.
That's what I
Coming in and dumping
said.
A bunch of rockets on people is really fun, and it often ends with you jump scaring the enemy team. Oh my God! More importantly, though, those fast rockets can also be used to jump. You know how with the Beggars you could overload jump once and then dump the remaining 2 rockets at your feet really fast to get a big burst of speed? It's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now try 7.
Huh. Is that
So maybe 7
what was
is a
that
bit
game? Was
overkill,
it
but having that speed potential without
I forgot the
having to
name of
preload
it.
Your rockets gives the airstrike an insane amount of flexibility. You got the mobility of the Beggars, the flexibility of stock, the crippling damage penalty of the Liberty Launcher, but it's okay because we can just ignore that part. Look, it's just fun, okay? Is it better than stock? I mean, no,
Depends on the map,
probably, but just in
depends
terms
on the
of
map.
how well it synergizes with the Market Gardener and the hybrid Trolldier playstyle, this one's my favorite.
Great.
It goes right here,
Ooh.
right in the middle, because it's perfect. Shut up.
Conclusion for real. Let's see if we get the conclusion.
You know, I had a lot more fun than I was expecting to have with Hybrid Soldier. Like, don't get me wrong.
Anything that deals with Soldier and Trolldier, you're gonna love SoundSmith.
There were definitely moments where I was missing that extra mobility that you get with the rocket jumper and the man treads, but I can totally see the appeal here. Plus, there are always going to be some situations where it just makes more sense to pull out a rocket launcher that actually does damage. And hey, if I'm still missing that extra mobility, there's always the jump pack over there on my second channel. Boom, transition. Yeah, I'm going to take up the end of the video.
Oh,
here
Helldivers,
before
I
but
remember
I've
the
actually
name.
started using my second channel again for the first time in... Oh god, how long has it been? Hold on.
How long?
3 years. I'll probably make
Oh.
a full announcement video as well once I get some more videos on there, but since it just went up, I'll mention it here too. Anyway, I've reworked that channel a bit, so instead of just shitposting, I'll be putting variety content there from now on. There's 2 videos on there already. One is a Soundbites video with old stream clips, and the other is a Helldivers video. They'll be a bit less intensive.
I
with
knew it
editing
was
than the main
Helldivers, I
channel
just
stuff,
didn't
but
remember the
still,
name.
If you're interested in the goofing off in other games side of my content, you'll find it there from now on. Also, if there are any other variety games that you'd like to see me dick around in, just leave a comment. I'll read through them here in a minute.
Did they found him to steal like his data? Oh, wait.
Wind charge? What the hell is it?
Wind charge?
Huh. Okay, I need to go do something. Thanks for watching. And, you know, like and stuff.
Don't forget to close. Okay. Oh, no.
Thanks for
Okay.
watching. And
Okay, I kind of want to see that before. Let me just see this real quick. I need to see what was written in the comments. Maybe this was just to the follow-up to the videos. Because we're going to have a second reaction coming out today to the next part of the extras. Minecraft Market Garden. When you're going to Market Garden Minecraft too with the mace. Okay, I think that this is going to show up on the next video. I think this is going to show up because now Minecraft has a gigantic mace that you can maybe do a special like a jump and attack, right? I haven't touched it yet, so I don't know. But guys, thanks so much for all the support. Thanks so much for being here. If you haven't already, please sure to give a like on the original video before we started, or just now, just if you didn't just do it now. And yeah, link down below. I hope that you guys can also follow up to the second video that's going to come out just, I would say soon enough. I just need to go ahead and edit this one and then record the other one. And I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Thanks so much for over 2,600 subscribers. Thank to everyone who showed up to the live stream. It was amazing. We had over 15 people there in the live stream, and it was great. It was our best and the most, I would say, our biggest live stream so far since I came back to streaming, so it was amazing. But I think I've been talking too much, so let's just wrap this up. Thanks for coming. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Consider checking out my Patreon and my membership on YouTube. I'll see you guys next time, and until the second video, bye. See ya. I also would like to give a big thank you to my patron, TitanMark01. Thank you for choosing to support the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.